A masterful 100 from Essex captain James Foster, his first of the season, helped his side turn the tables on Leicestershire with one day of their LV County Championship match at Grace Road to go. Essex had slipped to 28 for 4 at one point on day 2 in their response to the home side's 302, but Foster's 45 had helped his side to 196 for 6 by the start of the third morning, leaving them still 106 runs behind. Foster then set the tone for the day first thing by taking 12 runs off the opening over, which took him to his 50 and beyond. Both Foster and his overnight partner Graham Napier came out in the morning in a very positive frame of mind. Much has been said of their batting difficulties recently, but they had no such problems here against a Leicestershire attack which had begun this innings by getting the ball to talk. That was no longer the case, and even though the home side were able to claim the second new ball in the first hour of the third day, they weren't able to cause anything like the problems they'd done with the first one. Foster is a man who simply loves playing against this opposition. His best ever score was made against them, and since then it also helped himself to 3 centuries off them in the last 4 years. He was soon well on his way to a 4th in 5 seasons, and in doing so he was giving his side a good chance of earning a decent first innings lead, something which appeared very unlikely at 28 for 4. A simple guide to third man off Ollie Freckingham brought the former England keeper to the 19th 100 of his first-class career. It had been a chanceless and very bright innings, which had occupied 152 balls at this stage. Within that he'd struck 14 fours and 1 6, and he looked in no mood to stop piling on the runs in the company of Napier. Napier himself is having a wonderful summer with both bat and ball. He followed up his 7 wickets in the first innings of this match with a 50 of his own. He'd needed 79 balls for what was his 6th half-century of the season, one of which he'd turned into 100. He got to this one with his 7th boundary as he took his partnership with Foster to 114. It was ended next ball as Napier was trapped in front by Freckingham, but he'd helped his side move 3 runs ahead of their hosts. It was all some way away from the moment that Matthew Hoggard proved his fitness by taking 4 for 12 in his first 12-over spell on day 2. He at last claimed his fifer by having David Masters held in the slips by Joe Burns for 9 after the players returned after a lengthy break for rain. With only the tail left and the lead standing at just 18, Foster then farmed the strike as much as he could to dominate the rest of the scoring. He added a further 35 runs for the 9th wicket with Tom Craddock, and in the process took his own tally to 143. He then thumped Hoggard out to long on as the former England bowler ended with figures of 6 for 66 on his return from injury, the second best analysis for him since joining Leicestershire in 2010. Alex Wyatt then bowled Craddock to finally remove Essex for 356, a total which gave them a handy first innings lead of 54. Leicestershire have been in such situations before over the last couple of years, putting themselves into good positions without being able to finish off the job. Their openers Greg Smith and Niall O'Brien now had to make sure that they knocked off as many of that first innings deficit as possible. But the momentum had already switched towards Essex, even more so when both men were out in successive overs. O'Brien nicked Masters behind on 14, while Smith was LBW to Reece Topley for 11 to leave the home side on 27 for 2 and now in some sort of trouble. This had certainly been Essex's day, and they still have plenty of time to make a big step towards an important, confidence-boosting win. However, they were temporarily set back by Ned Eckersley and Burns, who took their side back into the lead by adding 46 runs for the 3rd wicket. But those tables turned some more before the weather ended the day early. On 11, Eckersley missed a pull off a ball which kept low to give Ryan Tender-Scarter an LBW success. And then the same bowler removed Burns, who played on after making 39 to put Essex firmly on top going into the final day of this match. There were only 10 more minutes of play before the weather intervened, and in that Leicestershire moved their total along to 91 for 4, but that gives them a lead of just 37, and they now need the final morning to belong to them if they're going to avoid a defeat for the second time this summer.